A woman's car gets towed. Now she says she's getting dragged through the mud.
She says someone offered her a deal on auto insurance, but in reality it was a ploy to rip her off. Fox 2's Taryn Asher joins us live with details. Taryn?
Well, you know, car insurance is so high in Detroit. People often looking for a good deal. That's what happened to this woman. She heard from an insurance agent, a car insurance agent that she used before. She heard a pretty good deal. She jumped at it. But just like the old saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
How would I know that I had fake insurance if no one told me?
Tracy Martin returned to her Detroit home Saturday to find her 2000 Ford 150 truck was gone. Highland Park had it towed and left this flyer behind. What shocked her even more was what it said. Your vehicle had been forfeited for fraudulent insurance. Tracy wondered how could this be? She had a receipt from her agent, Jonathan Brown, dating back to November 2014. Her proofs of insurance and plates registered from the Secretary of State. It wasn't until she called Progressive did she eventually learn she had been duped.
I call right now and give them this policy number. They still will explain the whole policy to me and explain that I did have insurance, but they say the agent that I went through paid them with a bogus check, and the check is no good, so therefore they had to invalidate the insurance.
But Tracy claims Progressive never notified her of the fraud, and neither did the Secretary of State on East 8 Mile in Detroit, which apparently approved the paperwork from the bogus agent.
I'm upset with him, but at the same time, I'm more upset at the Secretary of State because he faxed over these papers to you, and if they were no good, someone should have been able to red flag it.
Tracy already had one vehicle towed and was told by the Cobra Auto Theft Task Force, made up of Highland Park, Hamtramck, and Ecorse police, it would be a matter of time before the other two would be as well, since they all have fraudulent insurance. When Tracy asked what it would take to get her cars back,
he says, there's nothing I can do. Basically, I can buy my car back at auction. I said, how can I buy my car back at auction when I didn't do anything wrong? What are you holding my car for? He says, oh, you had false insurance.
Which Highland Park Police Chief Kevin Coney says is a felony, and she will have to meet with the task force to prove her case. Not only is Tracy out of the insurance money and what she's been paying each month, she will now have to fork out a few $1,000s more to get her cars back.
I feel like a victim, like you just wrongfully accused me. You haven't charged me anything, but you're just going to come and take my vehicle and try to sell it back. That's not fair.
Now, earlier today, I spoke with a spokesperson with Secretary of State who said that just today they had a couple of customer complaints, the same thing happening in Hamtramck. So they are going to look into this, how this happened to Secretary of State, and what exactly was presented. Now, we also put calls into Progressive Insurance late this evening, I have to say after business hours, so we are still waiting to hear back from them and what possibly went wrong there. But Tracy does suspect that there may be more victims out there. Monica?
I would say that's probably a pretty safe bet. Has anybody been able to track down this bogus insurance agent?
Well, Tracy certainly did. You know, he claimed he worked for LA Insurance. She called that location. They said they never had an agent who worked there. She also called the phone number that he had given her. That's disconnected as well. So obviously she did whatever she could to track down, but she didn't even know anything was wrong for what, 6 months? So it was hard, obviously too late now, but there's a possibility that police will now be looking into this man.
And hopefully she can get her cars back. All right. Thanks, Taryn.